Straight run up.
Now he angles it somewhat. Barkadash!
Where do I start? It's been up and down.
I remember being a kid.
I can see that happening.
That's something, there's always something to do. Be unlaced.
Unlaced podcast. It's actually not bad.
And we're back on the dance floor. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in this year. It's been a big year so far on the Unlaced podcast. Just a quick shout out to everyone that's subscribed, liking, commenting as we do every episode. We really do appreciate you. And also to last week's episode that we did with Danielle Weber, Danielle's Artworks. She's insane what she's doing in the artistic space. I mean, her murals, her paintings, but just the network she's created, the people she gets connected with, everyone that's wanting access to her and how busy she is. It was, pretty incredible to hear some of the backstory of how she met The Rock and other celebrities that she's meeting and her NFT as well. So go back and check that episode if you haven't already. Now, this is probably a very, very big episode because I think it's one of the ones that's been asked of me for a while. Individually, both of them, I was told by many people, I need to get them on the show. One of these gentlemen was on recently, and everyone now knows he's back in Melbourne, and everyone wants a piece of him in Fahid Khalfallah. But also my best mate in Rashid Mahazi, who we did a podcast together, probably been like the first 10, 15 episodes.
Around that.
Yeah. So now we've got you two together because people might not know that you guys are actually very close and were roommates in your Melbourne Victory days. So I don't know where this podcast is going to go.
How long do we have?
I don't know. But I feel like Fahid might end up hosting it. So, fucking anything's
I feel
possible.
an argument brewing.
Yeah, I know. Well, there was already one stemming before we jumped on air. As soon as you mentioned the word NFT and crypto, he's like, fuck off, bro. He hates it. But, thank you for coming on, man. You're turning 30. This week.
Yesterday.
Oh, yeah, you turned 30.
Yesterday.
Did you send him a message?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you didn't
I called him, bro. I called him.
You know why? Because, fuck, man. Sorry, bro.
Someone said something about, I'm doing it near Jake's birthday on and I was like, wait, what date's that?
Yeah,
it was literally yesterday.
Yeah, oh, my God. I know your birthday as well. What is that, April 20th?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I always remember because the star signs.
Shit best friend.
Bro, that sums up our friendship, and he doesn't give a fuck either.
I didn't even notice.
That's so fucked. I'm sorry, man.
Nah, it's all right.
Anyway, how does that feel, bro?
Good, man. Good. I actually feel like the last couple years I've like changed quite a bit, man. True. I actually probably have.
You'd be a good judge of that. Has he changed
feel like
since you first met him? I mean, he's put on a bit of weight.
Nah, he hasn't.
mentally.
No, he hasn't.
He's
He's always been that kind
but
of
like my-
fucked up person. He always thinks differently. Always.
Yeah,
He's always been like that.
Yeah,
Now
he
maybe
has.
because he's obviously growing up and getting older.
But I
Maybe,
mean my desire to go
but
out.
You've slowed down that.
You know?
that-
Yeah. You've turned the
I mean,
corner.
as a person.
Yeah,
But I feel like
it's
career
the
fucking not changed you, but that like slowed you down dramatically.
Yeah, I think it's hard. Like when I was coming out of football the first time, it was like you come out and you're like, "Whoa, I just want to party as much as I can because I've been holding this in since I was 4 years old, pretty much." but then this time I had like all these things that I wanted to do, and I was like, I don't have the time to lose a day or 2 or 3 days because I've like gone out and like wrecked myself to like catch up, you know. So I just got into the habit of enjoying. I mean, we went the other night. We went somewhere, and what time did I leave? 12:30, 12 o'clock.
Yeah,
something.
we left 12:30.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Saturday night, a quiet one.
Yeah, that's weird.
Waters.
But you feel better, don't you?
Much
You
better.
don't miss anything as well now.
I feel super healthy except for my stomach.
What do you mean?
In every way possible except for
Wait,
my
can we
stomach.
just talk about like his obviously journey to put on weight, which wasn't like, he's just gone lazy and stuff. Like he genuinely wanted to put on weight.
Yeah,
we played in the Dylan Tombides exhibition match a few weeks ago, which me and Fahid almost got in a punch on. We were playing a charity game and we're going off at each other because I was running everywhere. He was like, bro, where the fuck you playing? We're down 4-3 and he didn't want to come off. He didn't get substituted once. He didn't come off.
There was one moment actually. I don't know if you noticed this, but like you guys had your argument, and then. Or like a few arguments at this point. and then we've been chasing the ball for like 5 minutes. And then we just win the ball back. Someone gives you the ball in in your little pocket. You turn for no reason. Everyone's like, keep the ball.
Oh, I tried
and
to-
you just pass the ball straight back to the other team.
Oh,
and I
no.
just looked over it. And it was like,
Yeah, I think I think I dragged myself not long after that because I couldn't move, bro. I was Alan Davidson, who was 63, played just fitter than me, bro. He covered more ground than me, man. That was a concern. But just going into that game, bro, we were like, it was a fun day. But man, one of the things when we were in the club rooms after eating, but we spoke for an hour, and in that whole hour, he was eating the whole time.
Yeah, he ate for like
Different
5
different
people.
plates, like, and I didn't realize. I'm like, bro, have you stopped? So
man, it's so expensive. This is the thing that I'm realising.
Yeah,
To try and
actually,
put on, like-
he didn't eat the next 2 or 3 days.
seriously, bro, you ate so
That's
much.
crazy.
It's like you hadn't eaten for a month or something.
Nah, well, yeah, probably didn't do it. Like how I am, I just like if I want to do something, I just like want to do it as fast as possible. So I probably didn't do it in the healthiest way. I didn't
think-
count calories. I didn't try to like slowly increase a surplus. I just literally eat as much as I possibly can at every moment of every day. But then now, because I'm doing heaps of cardio, I actually feel like I need to eat a lot because you can imagine how big my stomach is now.
Yeah.
And like how much my body's burning because of the size.
Are you struggling to? Are you trying to lose weight now though?
I'm not trying, but like I am losing a lot of weight.
You
like,
are
pretty
losing.
quickly
What are
just
you
from
at
training
now?
hard.
Because you got to what 100?
No, 95, and I'm at like 87 now.
Do you understand? Like people who are gonna listen that, they're gonna start thinking, what the fuck? The guy actually tried to put like 15 or 20 kilos on, just
For like a game.
just like a game,
Yeah.
and like a purpose,
I know.
and like it makes no sense.
No, but you know,
It's like trying to explain, and he tried, bro, to explain to me, and I was like, it still make no sense, bro. Like I just don't understand that kind of stuff. Like you want to do something, you want to do like a marathon, Ironman, everything, and you challenge yourself. That's things like you've never done in your life, everything. That's fair enough. Trying to put 20 kilos on, bro.
but why?
I was like,
I
why?
can't believe you did it too.
He was
Like, you
yeah,
actually did it
I
as
just,
well.
I just want to do it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I was like,
But I didn't want to just eat. I wasn't just eating chocolates and stuff like that.
I know, but I was, man, just
it
fucking
was
swim
about,
to
like,
New Zealand or
strength.
whatever, man. You want to challenge yourself.
You
like,
ate like a lot, like multiple meals a day, like 4 or 5. Like you'd have dessert every
sick.
day and shit. Did you get sick? Yeah.
Nah, like not bad. He's like,
He's lining you up here. This is how your discussions go. You try and explain something to him, and he already knows that he's not going to reason with you.
No,
and he
there's like-
and there's no going
things,
back.
bro. There's things like you understand, and someone can try to explain to you. There's no explanation here. Like
No,
hold
hold
for
on.
me, he can try or try to explain the way he wants.
but your point was that it was unhealthy, right?
It's unhealthy, and it makes no sense for you to try to put 20 kilos on when like you're someone like he's a good looking guy, everything, and he was healthy. Why? He looked like a fat bro. Like,
Yeah, when I was playing soccer, I reckon
he
I
had
looked
no
terrible
neck.
when I was
At
playing
one point, he had
soccer.
no neck.
Do you remember?
Just his face. Bro, his head on his shoulder.
Yeah, he did. It was one. It was one at that
Bro.
point. You actually have lost a lot of weight now. I think of it.
Yeah,
He
Yeah,
lost
I
now.
do
Yeah,
remember. It was
yeah,
like-
he had no neck.
No, okay,
couldn't
the
put
one,
it
and,
to the
and we're not going to keep trashing it, but the one, the
No,
funniest,
but bro,
the funniest
that was
moment of
crazy.
the funniest moment of the game for me was when I think you must have been tired at this point because obviously we hadn't played. It was a 70-minute game, a big pitch, and me and you, like Fahid's fit, but you hadn't played much football at all.
No,
before.
I haven't.
Yeah, and you hadn't played anything like me.
He's full preparing for the game. Though.
Oh, bro, he played 70. He could have played another 30 minutes. He could have played another 30, bro. No.
You know, there's one video when we caught the goal, and you could see Rush. Rush is like hands on his hips.
Yeah, like
and he
4 or
couldn't
5
breathe. Bro.
4 or 5 people messaged me that.
This is what I was going to say. So he was last man. It was 3 on 2. Was it 3 on 1? You know,
No,
it's
this is a different situation.
Was it 3 on 1 or 3 on 2?
I think it was 4 on 2. It was me and Dana.
Yeah, you and Dane, right?
And-
And you made this decision, which because there was 2 guys running at you with the ball, and then you had 2 guys like either side of you
He
and Dane.
quit. He just
Huh?
quit.
Yeah,
He's just
and,
like,
and he knew the right thing was to drop off, and he knew if I go forward, this guy will play it, and then I'm out of the play.
Well, I
and I
didn't
don't have
just
to
know. Dana was going,
And you made that decision.
wait, hold, do not press.
Did he say that?
That drop, like he said about 7 times.
Oh,
and I was
no.
just like, fuck this. And
Yeah,
just went.
fuck, man. Yeah, that was one of my highlights that moment. But
Okay, serious question. Do you think being able to run a marathon is healthy. An individual that's
I'm not
training
saying
like a
that.
soccer player or running marathons is healthy.
Healthier than what you did, well, yeah, 100%.
But just healthy, like ultimate healthiness.
nice. There's no ultimate something. It's about how you feel. But
That's what I'm saying. Do you think it's healthy to train in the manner that we train, like when we're playing soccer?
yeah,
You think that's healthy?
yes, it is.
To redline the body every single day
You don't run
and get sick and like
You don't get sick.
go to bed after a game feeling like, oh, I can't walk for 3 days. Do you think that's healthy? Like
So
it's
for
a
you,
healthy
like-
individual.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Agree
think
to
I
disagree.
think I think you have a point. Like
I reckon
the
it takes
maximum-
years off your life.
Yeah, but I also think it also it keeps like
Hold on,
I don't know
bro.
about
depending if you have injuries and what kind of stuff you do. Like there's a lot of ex-soccer players, especially when they were playing in Italy, everything, and like when you start taking some stupid medicine, yeah, it doesn't.
No, I'm
help
not
you.
talking about that. I'm just
No, no,
talking
but
about
if
the
you-
amount that you're exerting yourself every day. Do you think that that's...
But I don't know.
As
I felt
healthy
I
as
felt
you
like it,
possibly
I
can.
felt like it helped me
Depending on the
mentally.
sport, depending on the
Yeah,
sport.
there's
Hold on.
obviously...
If
I'm
you're
not
playing
saying it's a
AFL
bad thing, but I
if you're
mean
playing-
like physical
If
health.
you're playing AFL and rugby, of course, like if you have like a great career or you played at the highest level for 10, 15 years, you're not gonna be the same. Like your body is not gonna. You can't say it's healthy when you turn like 34, whatever, 40 years old or something.
Yeah.
It's different. Soccer player, you don't have the same things. So the way you train, everything, like yeah, you don't have to run every day like to prepare for yourself for a marathon to be healthy. But
I just mean,
you
okay,
just didn't do anything.
Take the metric of this. I never get head colds now. When I was playing, I feel like once a month, once every 6 weeks, I'd get a head cold. Because they're so run
'cause you're
down
cold-
from training
right,
so
training.
much. And like, you've got no fat on your body. Like, I just feel like you look at the people in change rooms and you look like unwell, in my mind. I remember Carl saying one day, we're doing a
disagree, bro.
pre-season.
Cavallari.
We're doing a pre-season. And all of us were like, we were running so hard. And Carl, we were like getting changed in the changing rooms. And Carl goes, boys, like, I know, like, we see each other every day, so to us it sort of looks normal, but we all look sick.
That's fucking hilarious. Bro, what have you before we ask Fahid what he's been up to, can you tell us what you've been up to? Because your life's very interesting.
How long do you have, bro?
Where do you want to start?
Well, like, I mean,
Yeah, we-
yeah, we can go with MMA to your football school to wherever you want to
Alright.
take us, man. But a lot's changed since we've last had you on the podcast.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about this football school because that's the main one that's like sort of taken the attention and a lot of care. So me and Lukey Jegs and my brother started this soccer academy. We
What's it called?
Beyond Technique Football School.
Beyond Technique. You know.
And so as the name states, it's a football school. It's like to develop your technique and develop you as a footballer primarily. But then after that, we're sort of trying to not neglect the human side as well and develop the individual
Like the
past,
psychological.
like everything. Obviously, I'm studying psych, so that's important to me. And what we're sort of calling it is like a holistic developmental environment. And there's a write-up that we've got online, whatever, but basically all the issues that we probably spoke about when we were in the professional space, players, going broke after their last contract, not knowing how to invest their money, like mental health issues, whether that's like related to football or life at home, like family issues or whatever. Life after football, like what to do, how to get a job, how to study while you're playing, like all these things. Probably a lot of the stuff that the PFA helps players with, but we're trying to do it in the capacity of like a soccer academy that incorporates that all into it.
So the kids are enabled to do it themselves. in a
Exactly,
sense.
yeah. I mean, that's like one of the big things that we talk about is we don't want to like shelter them from the realities of football and life and like the difficulties of that. No, we want to like prepare them, strengthen them so that then when they face those realities, they're stronger and they can deal with it and they're prepared or whatever. So that's the idea.
Fuck, that's crazy.
Yeah,
so you've this been in the making for a while, but you're actually starting to training sessions now.
So
hey?
we've been working on it for ages, and like a lot of the stuff, it's probably taken a really long time because, I mean, obviously COVID and then learning how to start a business. Like, I didn't know anything about that. We're sort of just learning on the fly. Lukey probably knows a bit more, and so does Salim. But I'm just learning, and then lots of the stuff. There's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that's like the methodology, the philosophy, and stuff that we've worked really, really hard on. That I feel like most players, ex-players or current coaches, they start an academy. They would just go with the idea of like, oh, what did I learn? And I'm just going to do that. Like, they're not thinking about actually what is the best way that a player learns and a player develops their passing. Like down to not just taking what you've learned and then like just replicating it, actually thinking, does that work in that situation? How to like refine it in the perfect way. I think you think like that quite a bit. He doesn't just take what he's learned and then just replicate it. Like, he actually thinks through, like, does this actually work? Or has that just been drummed into me since I was a kid, so then I'm thinking it works? You know what I mean? So one of the things that we talk about a lot, and this came from organic conversations between me and Lukey while he was in Norway, I was in Korea, and we'd have these nights where like literally nothing to do, so we'd just FaceTime each other. And we just, at the time we weren't thinking of starting a soccer academy, but we were just talking about, how to, like, what's the best way to coach? What's the best way to learn? And, we came up with lots of different things. Like, one of them would be, so take the last, since, I don't know, 1998 or 1999, you take all the Golden Boot winners Ballon d'Or winners since that time, right? You've got in there, like, Zidane, Modric, Rivaldo, Ronaldo, Messi, list goes on, right? I'm sure most people will be able to just Google it and see it, or if they know it off by heart. You take all those players, right? Put them over here on the right. Over here on the left, you have how 99% of coaches coach. They go, okay, this is how you pass the ball, however it is. This is how you control the ball. You should be side on when you receive the ball. You should scan in this way. And there's all these like specific pointers, right, that you have to adopt as a player, especially in Australia. They go, you have to play like this. You have to do this when you get the ball, right? And if you don't do it, you're wrong. Let's say there's 40 of them that every player gets given by every coach. Probably most of those things will apply to each player, but not all 40 will apply to every single player. There won't be one player that all 40 will be correct for. And for 5 of those things that are wrong, it's going to become a hindrance on their game and their development, right? So and then you again now go over to these people, the Ballon d'Or winners of however last 20 years or whatever. Not one of those players does all 40 of those things, right? You might have Zidane, who controls the ball with the sole of his foot. You've got Modric, plays the ball with the outside of his foot. You've got Messi, who only uses his left foot. Right? Imagine if you had one of those players and from a young age, you tell them, Messi, no, you have to use your right foot. You have to use your right foot. And because like you've got time constraints, you only got a certain amount of time to learn something. Now, because Messi's using his right foot, that takes away from his left foot and you don't get Messi. Right? So we were like, how can you as a coach be sure that when you're telling them something, you know that what you're saying is correct. And so we created this sort of thing that we're like, okay, we're outcome focused as opposed to solution focused, right? So you have a problem that's presented to a player. Let's say the left back has the ball. You're a centre midfielder. The problem that you need to solve is you need to get the ball and play it forward, right? Most coaches or academies or whatever would say, you've got to do it in this way to achieve that goal, right? I think what we're going to do, which is what we're sort of trying to do, is as long as you achieve the outcome, doesn't matter how you do it. Even if you want to flick it, however you want to do it, you want to play the ball with the outside of your foot, as long as the ball goes to the target, you've succeeded, right? And I, in that situation, can't say you were wrong. But if you don't hit the target, then I can say you were wrong, right? So then we developed, so it's pretty intricate, but like this is over literally a long time. Then we developed this thing called like hierarchy of it's like objective truths versus subjective beliefs, right? So a subjective belief would be that you should control the ball with the inside of your foot, that you should be side on when you receive the ball as a midfielder, right? That's a subjective belief. So an objective truth would be it's better to score than to pass, right? It's better to assist than to pass backwards, right? So we developed this thing called the hierarchy of objective truths. And it's like at the top of it, the number one thing you can do when you receive the ball is score. And that can't be argued. It's not. You can't find a coach that's like, oh, I disagree because it is better. So then what's second to that? Assist. What's second to that? Pass to someone who can assist. What's fourth is you pass the ball forward. What's fifth? Pass the ball to someone in a more advanced position.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe then you have like pass the ball to someone in more space than you, and you go right the way down till you have just don't lose the ball, draw a foul, or clear it.
That's exactly what Joseph Gumbel did with us in Adelaide, by the way.
Really?
He came, bro, this is no joke. He came, we had like, imagine our team, like at the time, it was like just 2 years before you came, but our team at the time had Dario Vidicic, Karuska, Geronimo, Cassio, John McCain, Bruce Jitte, Sergio Van Dijk, like all these massive players, all Socceroos and stuff like at the time. And we played this possession drill where like, there would be 6v6,
yeah,
and then the rest of the players would be on the outside. And he gave you 6 rules, and the first rule was like, if you see a pass, pass.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't, I can't remember what they all were, but it was along the lines: if you see a pass straight away.
Yeah,
If you can't see a pass, find a pass. So like maneuver the ball, dribble, find a pass, then play it. And then it was like breaking down to like, if you can't find anything, protect the ball, don't lose it. Essentially that. As soon as you did one rule wrong, you were out.
Yeah.
So, and then like the new person would come in. So you can imagine like all these big players at the time. It was like the first 2 sessions. If you didn't do these basic principles, you were out of the drill. And like, throwing the bib, like,
I can imagine,
lost it, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's interesting you say that. Cause
and then it goes to what you guys were talking about last time, which he's probably big on as well, is like that type of thinking can be applied to anything, right? It's like, if you took, I don't want to say names, but there's certain players that I can think of in my team that if you said to him, okay, you can't party, then
we had this discussion.
That's what I mean. Like he wouldn't play as well. Like he wouldn't be enjoying his life.
Steve
he probably wouldn't play as
then.
well. Right? So it's like it applies in the same way. It's like what's the best for this person, not what's best across the board.
There's
But like
rules like as a coach or whatever. If you take today like the 2 best coaches in the world, Klopp and Guardiola.
Yeah.
Man, they have rules players have to follow.
Yeah.
There's no discussion about it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to play a certain way, the players have to adapt. Then he gives you freedom, whatever. Like he's not going to teach Sterling or Mane or whatever how to dribble. He's not. But there's principles within the team. And for example, when they lose the ball, they're all going to press everything. That kind of stuff. So that's why, like, you have the collective thing, and then obviously individually at the highest level, obviously players can do things. What he's talking about, for me, the players, there is a base where there's no negotiation. When he's talking about Messi, he's playing on the left foot. Messi can play with his right foot.
Yeah, that's my theory. But those players are doing
all
those things because they can do the basics.
That when they were young. There's bases or things like you have to do. Then obviously when it comes, it's more individual everything, and I agree with that. Like you have to give freedom to the players. Like number 6, like here in Australia, we try to make robots.
Yeah,
that's one of the things. To be honest, like you got to play a certain way, and you have just to do that. It sometimes it doesn't work. Like you also need to adapt to the players you've got. If you're a coach and you just pick a team, and you've got like 20 players, you have to adapt to them. Even if you have someone like Mbappe up front, and you've got Firmino or whatever, it's gonna be different. You can't ask them the same thing, or obviously you're gonna play a certain way because it's gonna suit Mbappe or it's gonna suit the other striker. Like so, but the base for me is important, and you need to teach the kid to play with everything. How to pass the ball, it might be outside, inside, controllable, inside, outside, soul, everything with the laces or whatever. That technical juggling, you have to be able to do a lot of things. Then obviously when you start growing, you're going to have someone, for example, just using his outside foot, maybe more than leave him. Let
Yeah,
him do
I
it.
think that's exactly. I agree completely. You need to be practicing.
That's why
everything.
But
and
that's
have
why,
the
like
base
at the
100%.
beginning,
Yeah.
here you can see, like
Yeah,
seriously,
yeah.
for me, I'm shocked. In A League, there's players that can't juggle, and I'm,
Yeah.
I'm very serious.
Yeah.
I've seen when I first came here, like you do some drills or whatever, players can't choose like both feet. They can't juggle, like they can't even do 50 with the head, which is like for me it was just like wow, like
Really?
seriously, I was
Yeah, because-
embarrassing. But it's just it's not about against the players. First of all, they need to work on their own and do their own thing, and sometimes they want to improve. But also the coaches, and that's what we spoke about last time in academies, everything. It's just sometimes they're not good enough. They have no clue. To be honest, like what they're doing, and that's what pisses me off. But Rush, to be honest, when I first came, he was like he couldn't play with his left foot, like not really or something, and the other players, everything. And I was like, man, you need to stay at the end of the session and work and work and work. And he was like, well, they don't want me to stay, or whatever. I said, well, stay. And to be honest, and then he got better. And then like players, whatever, some of them are still playing everything. They started working, but it's just because we tell you to play a certain way, and the coaches, you do like, for example, like a pattern. And they say, all right, you got to do that, you got to do that, you got to do that. All right. But during the game, sometimes you have different things.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen? If your player can't dribble, for example, or he doesn't know how to protect the ball or whatever, then it's crazy. If you ask your fullback, for example, just to take the ball, play long there, inside everything, what about when he comes on his left foot, if he's a right footer? So, but if you don't work at training, those things, you're going to have issues. But here, it's just like a lot of coaches, majority just focus on their own thing. So, and they don't let the players do sometimes, or let the creativity.
It's a coach's game now, football.
It is,
it's
but
not
it's
a player's game anymore.
No, I disagree with that.
What do you mean? The most famous, the most important people is the coaches
No,
now.
disagree
and
with
it's,
that.
And it is, man. What do you mean?
No.
And
In regards to- are you talking about in regards to results?
Zizou and all the that
If
in
you-
those
if-
days it's players.
Yeah, but
like
hold on.
okay, coaches were important, but it was players that was like people were. Like,
It's the same
thinking
thing
about the
today,
player.
bro. It's
it's
if
about
you,
it's about the
no,
system.
but the coaches
and the
have
coach
the
and
coaches
this
have
and
a
that.
massive impact.
But
on
hasn't
the
it
way
always been like that?
the coaches have a massive
disagree.
impact. Look at Liverpool. The last 6 years or 5 years or whatever, they've been amazing since they've signed like their centre back, him and
Mane,
like all,
Salah.
everyone. But they've built that team for like 4 or 5 years. Like Klopp was whatever. Like he first came and he said, "All right, I want a centre back. I want that," because he had a way to play, and he was like, "I want them." Now they have one of the best, if not the best team in the world. Man City, Guardiola came, bro. He spent 300 million on defenders, fullback, everything. He was like, "Oh, I want that." It's not working 1 year. "Oh, I want another centre back, 60 million or whatever," because he wants to find his way. But the players, if you've got Mbappe today, if you had one of them had Mbappe, man, they'd probably be best team in the world. Yeah, maybe they are, but it would change a lot of things. Today, Paris Saint-Germain, they've signed like Messi, Neymar, everything. It's not working. You can put any coaches. You had like Tuchel was there, Pochettino. They had before him Laurent Blanc, everything, and it didn't work. They couldn't win it, and sometimes they were close, everything, to
Well,
win
they
the
have
Champions
as
League.
well.
But look, today's the team. It's not the coach's fault, bro.
No, I'm not saying, but do you not feel
No, what
like
I'm
there was
saying is like
there was a
they're the one.
shift in like in football when Barcelona came about with Pep? There was like a big shift where it was like, oh, it's more focused on systems now than individual players.
Nah, I don't, bro. Barcelona, they had Messi.
I know,
and
but
he said
don't you
it
think-
like he
you don't-
actually
you
had
don't
an
agree?
interview about Messi, and he said, "I had
feel like
amazing
you're
players.
lying.
I think
Like you
I think
agree.
I would have won." He said, "Look, I think we would have won without Messi, but we wouldn't have won the same number of trophies or whatever."
It's
But
like-
the thing is, like,
yeah.
you've got some he comes, he does his things. If you don't have Messi, you don't win it. Like back then, he was by far the best player in the world. Like you were on a different planet. Real Madrid without Ronaldo, you don't win it. With Ancelotti, Zidane, or something. If they didn't have Ronaldo, they wouldn't.
Do you know what?
Bro, for me, it comes to players. The coaches have a massive impact. Like on the season when you win. Look today, for example, like in A-League. Take Western United. They're first or second, or whatever close. John Aloisi's got an impact in that team. Also, the players he signed. So, but the player, if you don't sign the striker, if you don't sign the centre back, if you don't sign whatever, like other players, everything in midfield, there's the one
But
responsible.
bro, no, but you're talking about like go to actually your experience of playing and the way exactly what you were saying before. Oh, when you get the ball, you have to pass here. When you do this, you have to do this. They're taking a play and then they're going, okay, you've got to play, like shave off all your edges and play in a system to not express like who you are and why you got brought there in the first place.
But then, for example, when I first came at Victory, I remember like we had like one game or something like pre-season, whatever, like internal game at Amy Park with like the crowd, and the crowd is allowed to come. And Muskie was like, "Yeah, we lose the ball, like press," and like look at the ball, make a run behind. And I was like seriously like so confused. First of all, I couldn't understand what he was
like
saying.
Your first
internal game after like a week or whatever, 10 days. And like seriously, I was like so confused.
And I couldn't understand.
I couldn't even understand. To be honest, like barely understand. He was like, "Fahid, run there, in behind, come back, press," and I was like, man, coming from France, I was like, hold on, I don't understand. And JP came.
But you're not the language, but also the instruction of like.
But I was getting confused because it's not. It's the way he wanted to play wasn't me. Yeah. It was just like I was like, well, he's wrong. Who's the player he picked? Like I need to get the ball. Like because as soon as we won the ball, for example, one of the first things was like making runs straight away in behind.
Yeah, that was.
But I had pace or something, whatever. I was quick. But I wanted to touch the ball, like so. You need to mix it up. If you do the same thing every time, it's not gonna work. And I was like, well, I need to touch the ball. And JP the Marini came, and I was like, I can't play this way. The ball is on one side, and like in France, like you take time, everything goes from one side to another, whatever. But here, the ball was on one side, and like you try to penetrate, and I was like, it makes no sense. And so we had a discussion, but I had to adapt. To be honest, like I also had to adapt, but I was like, I'm gonna play my football anyway. So, and I had a discussion with Kevin. I was like, you need to give me freedom. I know how to play football or something. I understand things. I'm gonna try, obviously, because you have to adapt to the coaches and you have to respect what he wants to put in place, because he's the one making decision. But I need to do my thing, whatever. And to be honest, he gave me that. Like he gave me my freedom, everything. So offensively, I think Costa was playing back then on the right or something, so Costa was more direct, but he allowed me to come inside and to touch the ball and things. For example, my first friendly game in Sydney in Tasmania, and like in France, like wingers, like you can swap during the game, whatever. You end up doing anything as long as like you're in the shape. And I was going on the right side, and I was Costa, swap. Costa was like, no. And I was like,
you ran over there and he said no, go back.
Yeah, and like first friendly, and I was like, is this kind of serious?
That's odd though.
And I just told him like, and it was like my first game, and like when you don't speak the language, everything, you go somewhere, whatever, and I was like, what? Fucking go there.
Right, that's why I love playing on the wing.
And he was like, that he wanted to stay on the right, but because that was his position, and he in his mind was like, I'm just gonna stay there. And I was like, man, I'm just in a different football here. Like, it's just crazy. But then I had to adapt. But to be honest, like, Kev understood that kind of stuff, for example, with me. Yeah. We had also players, like Guy Finkler, who was playing as a 10. Guy was doing exactly, he had quality, everything, but Guy was like, all right, I'm going to play that thing.
Yeah.
So he was doing good things, like, when he had on the ball, sometimes, like, doing his own thing. But everyone had, like, a proper task. To be honest, like him was like get the ball, play with a 10 or in behind or whatever. So it's the coaches say something, but if we didn't have like quality the first year, if we didn't have Matthew at the back or even Bess, like he scored so many goals, everything, doesn't really matter about the system. It comes to the players. The coach can try to do something. He's got a lot of responsibility, but it comes to the player.
But take it. You're probably a really good person to talk about. Like the developmental processes in this, like pathways in this country, and like what you go through as a player. Because I didn't really do it too much because I left. I did it for a small period, but then I left.
You did pretty much the polar opposite.
Yeah. Because even like at Daniels, which was the academy, like it was more free. You were like, you're learning everything, but there's a slight element of freedom where the coach has like nuance, and they think, okay, in this situation, maybe this doesn't suit, like banging this into this player doesn't suit him, right? Obviously, like you said, you need the base, like everyone needs to work on their, whatever, first touch, like with every part of the foot, both feet, like everything like that. The base needs to be there. But what I feel like what happens especially in Australia, is any kind of personality gets banged out of you hard, and there's like a certain way to do things, and if you go outside that, you're not considered valuable as a player. Like, do you not? I don't want to like put it in your mouth, but do you feel like that was like your experience through?
Yeah, it was. We were pretty like, especially at the AIS, it was like very robotic, like everything. But the coach, though, to be honest, he made better players from doing it that way. But it was very principled, like it was Dutch. It was a Dutch influence, so everything was like all tactical strategy, ball speed, like movement, like it was all principles where like you kind of forgot your own natural gifts. Like I remember getting the ball and like taking a long range shot and forgetting like fuck I can shoot. Like, do you know what I mean? Because it was so wide on like moving the ball, moving players, moving space and stuff. Like not having the freedom to. Which actually kind of killed my enjoyment for the game, but it 100% made us better players.
Yeah, and it's like
I learnt more about the game.
It doesn't like I'm not saying there's no place for that. Like, of course, you need to understand how to play in a system. That's obviously important. But I remember you saying. I think we were watching. It would have been a World Cup, maybe where James Rodriguez was like. What World Cup was that? Where he was like lighting it up. Brazil.
Yeah,
It was 2014.
Yeah.
2014 was Brazil.
Yeah.
2010 was South Africa.
Brazil.
Yes, South Africa, but that's
It was Brazil, I think.
When he scored the goal.
It was in Brazil.
Yeah, it was in
Oh,
Brazil.
okay.
The volley.
I
Yeah.
thought it was-
And I remember you saying like, we've got a lot of good players in Australia, but like no one that really takes your breath away, like that makes you
Yeah,
like
but
go,
that's
whoa,
different, bro. You played
know.
in Argentina or whatever, and it's part of it. It's kind of like a religion.
Yeah.
But do you
So
not think
players
do you not
abroad?
think
Did
that-
you see?
different,
Do
I
you
think.
see any kids playing here on the street and playing soccer?
Okay, I understand. I understand there's
different,
other
bro.
variables. I understand there's variables of like, just culturally they're different
But
people. I understand there's
the
different
competition
things.
between sports.
Yeah.
It's so expensive here. The country is so good. Like, it's actually one of the best country.
Yeah.
You went there, or you go to Africa, you've got nothing else to do. It's not like, your a lot of parents can afford to buy you a PlayStation or whatever, all that stuff. So the only thing is like a ball and you can play soccer. So when you grow up doing that, then you get better. Here, bro, look at the country, and I've said it heaps of time. The biggest issue here is the country is too good. Because it's seriously, and I've said it. You're not, and you don't get the
can't
desire.
create any need.
Look today, for
Yeah.
example. You're one of the example because you decided. So you were a soccer player, and you decided to stop playing, and to go to England or like in Europe, everything to play music and to do something.
I was waiting for him to pop you down.
I'll give you
Go
that.
to the fucking
I'll give you that example. So
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
Because you obviously you were on a small salary here in A League back then. If you were playing in Europe and you were making, for example, like an average salary, whatever in first division today is like 80,000 per month euro. It's like whatever 120, 130 per month. I don't think you would have made that choice. Because but it's true because
Fucking
today
too right.
you play in
I
A
would have
League.
done, yeah.
there's
Too
couple
right.
but bro, look, you play in A League.
I'd still be playing too.
Yeah, but if you play in A League and you make 120, for example, whatever, it's an average salary, 120, 130 or something. If you're not a starting 11, all right, you're gonna play for 10 years, but you're not gonna make a lot of money when you stop playing. So you've been doing something for 10 or 15 years or whatever. Sometimes a lot of people forget to go to school or they don't want to do anything else, which is stupid. Like, you should get like a lot of qualification and do uni, everything, because you do have time. So you do that, and then it's over, and you have to start working. So here, for example, they don't get the desire. If you don't make it as a soccer player, or even you can do things much better in life. You can open your own business. Rush, for example, today is like he's got his own academy, he's doing other things or whatever. You can do a lot of things that gonna make you make much more money. If you play in first division or even in second division in Europe, like in the top country, there's nothing else. Like, you can't make more money. Like very, very few people will make more money. So the desire to make it is very different. Here, you don't make it, or it's hard, man, I'll do something else. I'll go there, or I'm gonna open a cafe. That's because the country is so
But
good.
I would argue like, okay,
The
there's
desire
this-
to make it, bro, for like take African countries or even
But
South
we also
America,
we have
everything.
so
They
many
have-
sports here, bro.
But bro, but it
Yeah.
also like for them to succeed, it means they're gonna make so much money they can help the whole family. You don't have the desire here to get that, because it's inside. Like seriously, like when you have like whatever 20 people behind you, the parents, the grandparents, the children, everything, and you have to pay for everyone to help them to have like a normal life. Man, I'll tell you right now, seriously, it makes things very different. Here, you don't make it, doesn't really matter. So
I don't think, I honestly think there's a lot of kids that are not, like, coming from Argentina, watching the kids, like, I saw kids way lazier in Argentina than I've seen here. Like, kids with their, I'm going to go train here, I'm going to train there. I've seen heaps of kids in Argentina that really probably need football, and they can't be bothered, and they sit there, and they're good players, but like they can't be bothered.
I mean,
and whatever.
In general, like someone like you, when you start playing in first division, I've never seen any player like saying, "All right, I'm just gonna play music now. I want to go there and play music." And if you play like in the first division top league, because like you just want to play, and there's nothing better. I'll tell you right now, seriously, for me, I played soccer at the highest level. There's nothing better in terms of job, because it was my passion. So making money, like, and you get paid because you're playing soccer.
It's ridiculous.
Like it's
when you think
like
about
actually
it.
it's a passion.
wait,
So
though.
it's a job. You don't even take it as a job.
But stay with the topic of the development. Like, I feel like I saw kids at 13, 14 years old in Australia.
Yeah, I think there's desire here.
That looked like, as a player, on the level of like an Argentinian, like a good Argentinian player.
Yeah.
And then by 16,
I don't know where the gap
I don't know
drops.
what happened to them.
I don't know where the gap drops. Like, because I feel like at probably up until 13, 14, even 15, we're pretty close to other countries in regards to like some of our levels.
Yeah.
Because I went overseas and trialled at like 14,
that's what I
15
mean.
at Blackburn and stuff, and there was no difference. It was like, then it's the next phase. It's then when I went back over after my A-League career, and I was training with Championship, and I went back and trained with the 21s. It's like, these guys could all play in the A-League. Like, do you know what I mean? And they're all like kids.
What happens between those years?
I don't know.
But
I ticked
hypothesis-
every box you could possibly tick in this country of every representative team and pathway you could go through. And I don't know, when we go to the Under-20 World Cup, we play Spain, we lose 6-0.
And you've got those players. You can't even make the argument they're not training every day, because we have places that are training pretty much every day.
When you're here, what they call academy, you're training 3 or 4 times. In academy, for example, I'm not gonna talk about other countries, because I'm just gonna talk about France. I know the country there. The kids, when they go into academy, the school is like they train first, and then the school comes after. So even if they try, like you train in the morning and then you have school afternoon, or you train every single day, you stay together.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. At AIS, they used to do that.
Yeah, but there was also training like almost every day. You went training 3 times?
No,
But here, like in academy, like today,
I used to
was
train 8
3 or
times
4
a day.
How many times did you train?
It'd be minimum 1, sometimes twice a day.
All right. So, but that's why also they got better, because you train more.
Yeah.
You only had 1 in Australia. How many players?
Yeah. Okay,
so
yeah,
now imagine you've got
that's a
that.
big one, yeah,
Imagine
for sure.
you've got that kind of stuff within every professional club.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. So if Victory City, Western United, Western Sydney, all those clubs had things like that, and you can have the players to stay.
Yeah.
You look after them.
Yeah,
they stay
true.
with you.
Okay,
the morning you
experiment.
look after everything. So you
Okay.
look after the food. You know how they eat to understand, because it's obviously you need to be healthy. You understand how to eat everything. It's gonna make you a better player,
Okay,
bro.
fair enough. But thought experiment, okay? Take that. Let's say every club. Let's say there's more. There's say 30 clubs in the country that kids get that whole that process. They train every day, whatever, fed, gym, everything. But the only thing that has to stay the same is that they're coached in the same way as they're currently coached. Do you think we
I think if you have the same coaches today, but you
Argentina,
train more,
France,
you're still,
Spain.
but you're still gonna be better.
You're going to be better. But do you think we're on the level of them? Is what I'm saying.
In terms of coaches, I think.
I'm saying like the kids. I'm saying the players, in terms of players. Like, let's say
Would you be
they're
at that
training
level?
every day, they're doing all that stuff, but they're coached in the same way.
Yeah.
Do you think we equal the level of like the rest of the world?
So we're talking about the coaching stuff.
Yeah, I'm asking about the coaching. Yeah.
Oh, I do think, and we spoke about that last time. I think you have really good people within the country. I just think I really think we don't use them. when you have like ex-soccer player, like former Socceroos, or people like who actually played at the highest level, and when you talk to them, they don't do anything, they're not even involved in football, it's scary. But the problem is like you don't want to spend money, you don't have enough resources, or clubs don't want to use that, they don't want to spend money on kids. Because the thing is, like, in my opinion, if I was the chairman of a club, I would say, all right, we've got the salary cap here. So you can't spend more than 2.6, 2.7 million. And whatever with the marquee players, all right, go to 4 million if you want. But you can't spend more. But then, if you transfer kids, if you spend more, all right, we're going to spend $500,000 every time. So we're going to take 6 or 7 coaches, we're going to pay them good money. They're going to focus on that. We're going to build like accommodations, like kind of things. So the kids... If I'm coaching any team in Melbourne and the best 14 years old is in Perth or Darwin, bro, I gotta go and pick him and make him stay here. But he needs to train, because the thing is, like, at 17 or 18 years old, if you transfer that, and he's been playing in A-League, he starts playing in A-League, you can transfer him to Europe. You can make 800, whatever, 6 million, 600, 700, whatever. Then you can reinvest the money. But the problem is, like, they don't think about the academy like that. They just think, we just need a team, something. You can make so many good things if they thought the right way, they will make money. But it's just here we use it, we just have an academy, blah, blah, how many kids make it? And then they play in A-League, but they're not good enough. Make them much better. If you have to bring coaches from overseas or something, do it. But you need to build those academies, like proper academy, and not just have like the name of academy that means nothing. And coaches who can't even kick a ball, and they're teaching kids playing in a professional club how to do things. So all the coaches if you take in Europe, not biggest club, in any club's professional level, usually the coaches in academies are all ex-players. Because when you have to demonstrate something, so today, for example, you have your own academy, you're going to be able to demonstrate things because you can do it. So you have other people having their own academy, and the guy can't even kick the ball. So, and then he's gonna ask, man, just give me $100 for an hour. Well, you can't kick the ball, and you're asking that, and they take a piece, and that's why.
Just a funny story on something like this, because you can imagine.
Bro, yesterday, seriously, we live. Obviously, yesterday I was actually at the beach in Elwood, just walking there like a shit there with my dog, and morning and. 2 days ago, and a guy, and a guy actually comes, he put his goal there, and there's a kid just kicking the ball, and like that's his academy, whatever. He gets like 3 or 4 kids sometimes per day or during the weekend. And I was walking, and I seriously, I was like, I'm not gonna get involved, but I wanted to go there and say, man, stop it. Stop. I wanted to tell the parents.
He listens to this podcast.
I wanted to tell the parents. Yeah, well, I really hope he knows. I really hope he knows. Now, seriously, and I was like, he's an old guy or something, to be honest. He looks nice, but he's got no clue.
Nice.
Nah, he's got no clue what he's doing. He's got no clue what he's doing. And seriously, I was like, seriously, as a soccer player, or like, I've been doing that. I wanted to go there and tell the parents, you know what, find someone else. Guy's taking a piece, he's taking money from you. He's got no clue. Your kid, he's not going to be good enough anyway. He's not going to make it because he can't kick the ball. But the problem is like...
Can you just picture him just going up to this guy?
Nah, because, bro, the problem is like you've got
your kid's not going to make it anyway.
No, but I'm not saying that way.
He wouldn't do it, but I can see him thinking it.
Because the parents, I understand, it's not making it something. If you can afford to have like a coach or whatever, put your son in an academy, just to make it better. It doesn't mean like you have to become a soccer player. But that coach there has got no clue. He's not even... correcting the kid when he kicks the ball or something, and I was just looking at it. I was like, man, it makes me sick, like seriously. But it's same thing in academies. You've got people, you go to any academies, I'm pretty sure, in A-League, and you've got people who've never played football. So now if I'm a father, I'm a father. If I had my son there and I looked at the coach and I was like, who is he? All right, the next A-League player. He coached everything. He's coaching. He's played. Man, that's good. I respect that. If he's not, and people are gonna say, well, it's not because you haven't played, you can't be a good coach. Well, at the highest level, maybe. And seniors, everything.
But there's so many variants to that.
No, but I'll tell you right now.
With
kids, you need to be able to demonstrate.
I agree.
So all those kind of stuff and coaches, and I'll tell you right now, all those frauds, everything, they're gonna say, Ben Khalfallah is wrong. Nah, man. Everyone coaching kids, if you start coaching in academy, you need to be able to demonstrate how to make a run, how to come inside, how to take your touch, everything. a lot of things.
Great.
But seniors, everything is different because it's men management, everything.
There's more complicated.
There's a lot. And now you can have great coaches who never kick the ball, but they understand the tactical side and men management. They have great skills, everything. That's totally different. In academy, man, if someone comes and says, oh, you don't have to play football, fucking bullshit.
Fucking mic drop.
Fucking bullshit.
Fucking bullshit. Bro, imagine him approaching man. If I drop my kid off to train with Fahid, I would like just park around the corner.
You'd love it.
The window
You'd love it.
Make sure he's
because the thing is like you look, you have so many people here to be honest, they invest money. And even in amateur level, everything, there's a lot of people trying to put a lot of money within clubs and trying to do the right thing. It's just, but you've got those people taking advantage and saying like, oh, it's because I read a book and said, oh yeah, that's what I'm doing, or because the guy watched TV, like he watched 3 games of Guardiola and he thinks he's Guardiola or whatever. It makes no sense. But I feel I don't like it because for the people who actually invest the money. They want to see the kids doing better. They want to see the kids getting better, and like trying to invest that kind of stuff here will make the football better. But it's just because you've got some frauds, whatever, not doing anything special, and they take advantage of it. They make money of it.
Yeah.
So there's so many things, bro. The football here, with the country we're in, the money is they've got everything. You can have. I'm not saying you're never gonna be like England, Spain, everything, but you can be definitely like much better in terms of competition.
Well, like you said, there's no need, isn't it? Like because the country's like the economy's fine. Like
that's
exactly.
But
like
look at like why in 2006?
You got AFL. Like
I think we overachieve as a country.
Look the generation in 2006, what they call the golden generation. Yeah. Everyone played in Europe, all of them, all the players, but Australia back then was, I would say, like respected, because.
Can you tell me why that happened?
What? Sorry.
You're probably a better historian than me. What? How did that happen?
How did what happen?
Like that golden generation. Like what was going on that made?
To be honest, the fascinating thing with that era is the only 2 players that didn't do their whole development in Australia was Kuehl and Cahill. They both went to UK at like 13, 14, and went through the academy. I think, I don't know which academy Cahill was in. He might have been in Millwall. And then Kuehl was like, he was over there as a kid as well. So they were our 2 like X factors when you think about it, which is interesting. But I mean, like Mark Viduka, Craig Moore, Lucas Neal, all these guys played here. But I don't.
But they left early.
They left
early.
Went
Went overseas, and one of the things.
And they fought.
Look at today. As soon as you go overseas, and you don't play, players come back in A-League 6 months later, because you know what? They don't want to fight. The country here, you've got everything, and look, you can see it's a couple of kids at 18 years old, whatever. They don't play. I'm leaving.
Yeah, there's a personality
you don't
element
want to,
as well.
Here,
like all those guys as well.
Look at players like Timmy Cahill, everything. Like they made it because they stayed when they struggled at the beginning. They've stayed in Europe. They fought for the spot, everything, and then they had like a really good career. Like John, like all of them. Actually, like seriously, all of those generation, they've stayed in Europe. But here now, you've got players playing with the Socceroos. They go to Europe, 6 months, it doesn't work. They go somewhere else, it doesn't work. They come back, and then they stay in A-League, and you look great. Yeah, well, man, you failed when you went to Europe. But here, so they're happy because they're just like, all right, I'm gonna make good money because I'm coming back from overseas. So clubs are gonna give me more money than I was on in Europe. Ago. So they're gonna give me more money because I just went to Europe. And you're gonna be here, enjoy your life, great lifestyle, top cities, everything. No pressure, no relegation, no promotion or whatever. You've got it easy. So great lifestyle here. Seriously, look.
But what do you think? What do you think develops this personality of like these kids? In a contrast to the guys like the golden generation. These
I don't know how Australia was, whatever, 15, 20 years ago. I don't know how it was here, like in terms of lifestyle. I have no idea.
I think it was.
I actually have no idea. I don't know financially.
Australia's changed at all. Except for now we've got
in
the
NSL back then.
In
NSL back then, could you make money? No, it was like semi-professional or something like that, maybe. No.
Yeah, but I don't know what type of money they made.
For example, today, if you're an A-League player, if you're like a marquee player, you can make decent money here in A-League. You can actually make really good money. If you're like a really good player in A-League, you can still you're gonna make good money.
Yeah.
Like you don't get me wrong. Like you can make like your 300 or whatever, 350, 400 or something. That's really good money in Australia. Nothing compared to Europe, but that's great money here. But if you were playing in NSL, and I don't know, to be honest, because I have no idea. But I'm pretty sure you couldn't make that kind of money, or I'm pretty sure you couldn't make like really good money. So you had to go overseas to make it. And then those players, maybe they're just, in their mind, they wanted to make it. Now you go to Europe here, you go there, usually you can sign like a small salary, but as soon as you know what, it doesn't work, they come back on a bigger salary. Man, if I was in charge, I would say, man, you go to Europe, you don't play, you're not coming back on the highest salary. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make sense. So, but I don't know, man. Yeah, it's just different mentality. Country is too good, bro.
No, it is. But I said this. I think,
too
look,
good,
to be
bro.
honest, I think we're very critical in Australia. I think we overachieve. Like, I think the A-League at times, it'd be like, it's disappointing not to see like packed stadiums and stuff because we've seen it in the past. But like, bro, we've made fucking like the last 4 World Cups. Like, it's ridiculous. There's only 32 teams can go in the world, and we've gone to the last 4. So it's like, I don't know what more people want. Like, what do they expect us to do?
Yeah, but hold on, bro.
Like,
Hold on. What? So, don't you think like, all right, you take Japan. I'm gonna take Japan out of the equation because.
no, I
like, they're
agree.
better.
I agree. But
So
I'm just
in
talking like
Asia,
it's not as bad
so-
as what people think, right?
No,
Like,
but hold on. In Asia, so if you all right, Japan better. All right, I agree with that. But today, so don't you think like Australia, when they play the qualification, with the quality you're supposed to have, you shouldn't struggle?
You shouldn't struggle.
You should. Do you think like you should struggle? Sorry.
no, I think after now our history, we should.
Do you think
we
when you
should be
play
winning
some
those-
countries,
we
I'm
should
not
be
gonna
winning-
name any country because people are gonna say, but there's like
No, the,
really small
the
countries.
smaller countries we should be
and so
destroying.
today you don't. You
No,
actually
no,
like
I know.
struggle to beat them.
I know.
So, and whatever we say in Tuvenes, look, there is a lack of quality. About if you compare with like even 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So it's not about not trying or something. Don't get me wrong. Everyone wants to try something, but they played against Japan. To be honest, when I watched the game against Japan, like Japan, obviously they're just better. But then like you play against Saudi or whatever, like you still struggle. I really hope, to be honest, they're gonna make it. But at one point, like you're not playing against European countries. You're not playing against like South America. For me, I'll take 2 or 3 countries because I think it's overrated. But it's different. Like that's why. Like
this is one of the first times, I think we spoke about this when we watched them play Japan. But I think Matty Ryan is probably the only one playing consistently in a top league.
yeah. Probably.
Rogic, I think he plays
But
sometimes
you've got
in Celtic.
I can't remember his name. One of the offensive midfield actually against.
Yeah, but I don't know if he plays much.
but
Hrustic.
at least like you know what, they're there.
But he's
like,
was it
at least-
Frankfurt? He's at or Stuttgart? Yeah, something like that.
At-
Yeah, he's
at
a
least
good
they are
club.
overseas everything, and you know what, they stay and they try to make it everything. So,
Yeah.
but you don't have to play in one of the top league. If you play in first division in Belgium or Switzerland or Turkey or Greece, everything, they're like really good leagues. So if you play there consistently, you're gonna be good.
Yeah.
So, but the problem is like I think a lot of the players, as soon as it doesn't work, they just want to come back, and it means everything in terms of mentality. So, but the coaches who are in charge of the academies, they need to look at themselves. They need to look in the mirror and say, well, there's something wrong because people say, oh, we lack of quality. Well, you're the one responsible for that. So do something, get better. If you stop reading a book and travel, go see how they work in Europe, but all around Europe, not just one country or whatever, because 10 years ago, 15 years ago, Spain and the Dutch, that's it. It was just about that. Germany today is probably one of the best examples to follow, like the way they played everything. So you need to look at that. It changes every time, like different generations, different
We
football.
did that like 10 years ago. We literally tried to copy the Dutch system. So then they got...
Yeah, well,
they
that
got
was your whole...
Yeah, the AOS, the Dutch
upbringing,
coach, then
right?
the technical director was Hamburger. He was Dutch. You want to go to the World Cup? Coach,
Nah,
by
but
great players.
you need to.
It's important.
For me, it's like you need to take the best of every country, but you need to keep your mentality. You're trying to make players look like Spanish players here. Yeah, man,
which
you
doesn't
don't
make
have
sense,
Iniesta and Xavi,
Doesn't
or
make
you don't
sense.
have Messi. So you're trying to copy something that's not gonna
You
suit
have
you.
different bodies. You have
Yeah,
different
so you need to have your
cultures,
mentality.
the way you
Your
think.
principles
That's
as
But
well.
right,
you
yeah.
need
It's like-
you need to have like, all right, what's the biggest quality of Australia? All right, we're gonna stick to that. But then
Just the grit.
But then you need to. But then you need to obviously to go like whatever. See how it works for how they work in France. You look at Clairefontaine, all the club, everything. They're amazing what they're doing. The Germans, the same thing. Like Italy, what they're doing, everything. Then you try to get a lot of good things, but you need to have your mentality and like your own quality. You can't say someone like an Aussie guy, I want you just to play one touch here, like tiki taka, whatever. Seriously, yeah, first touch of the ball is gonna go there. But that's why. So you need to play with your quality and stop trying to copy what they're doing, because what they're doing there.
So we've gone full circle to what exactly I said, where you disagreed with.
No, I said at the beginning you still need the base.
Yeah.
So if you can't,
fair enough. Yeah, true.
You need the base. You need to do the right thing, but then you need to have. That's what I'm saying.
I think we said this a while ago. We had this discussion, and what I think is like maybe the defining factor in like a footballer progressing or like getting better or whatever is knowing who you are. Like what?
Yeah,
but remember, like for example, you were like, so I was doing something in the game. I can't remember what it was. Muskie was telling me to do something, and like it wasn't working. And then at half time, you yelled at me, and you were like, "Bro, like fuck, you have to think for yourself, man. Like don't just do what other people are telling you. Like you don't."
Yeah, but because on the pitch, there's situations.
You have to take
whatever
ownership.
we can tell you. It's gonna happen on the pitch where you're gonna have a situation where you gotta figure it out on your own.
Yeah.
But sometimes, so if you haven't worked on it, that's why I'm saying like if you have the base and technically, for example, you can dribble and you're at the corner flag, but there's no players, or instead of passing the ball to someone who's gonna cross it, for example, there's no one. Then you gotta dribble.
Yeah.
So if you come on, for example, on your left foot, then you gotta cross with your left foot. But those kind of stuff, for example, that's a base of your football. Then obviously it comes with whatever the quality, talent, but you have to play your own football.
Yeah.
But I'd love, to be honest, to see like all the ex-players involved in football.
Yeah, I'd like to see them.
I would love, seriously, you know what? When I go to an
A-League
academy, when I
teams.
go to a club, I would love to see like ex-players coaching within academy. I'd love to see that, because you know
never
what,
even thought about
you'll
that,
make
really.
you'll make the football
That's why it's good
much
you're
better.
doing what you're doing, because it's people that have played.
Bro,
putting
you'll make
time.
the football much better.
Yeah.
You've got like, seriously, it's amazing how many players like who played in A-League, sometimes they played overseas or whatever. You talk to them, they're just involved like in amateur clubs, sometimes they're not. So man, have them involved in academy. But the clubs, they need to pay. They need to pay. The federation, they need to have them involved. Like all the ex-Socceroos who did well for the country, why don't you have them involved? It makes no sense. Like sometimes, and that's why people say, yeah, man, you know what? If you have someone like who played at the highest level, Tim Cahill, he played, he scored, he knows the highest level. If you have him teaching the kids or whatever, like in a club, how to score goals, he's gonna tell you, he's gonna be able to correct players. Viduka is gonna be like, maybe some of them don't want to be involved, maybe some of them would want to. And have them involved. If you ask someone who played at the highest level, you don't have to be like the smartest guy, but he's gonna tell you, how to kick the ball, how to do that. Like, things. It's just different situation because we've been there. So it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
I just want to go flip this a little bit and talk about your time at Victory together. What was because we obviously can't really ask Fahid this question because and we obviously know what a great player he was at Victory. But what was it like for the boys in the dressing room when Fahid came? Like, did you guys know Fahid's pedigree? Like, what were the first impressions on him on and off the field?
Oh, I don't.
It's a good question for you to watch him answer.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I don't follow the French league or something.
Yeah, but I can
noticed that
imagine
he's a very angry little man.
not much has changed. No, seriously.
Nah,
football sense, like, just everything.
Okay. One of the things that I noticed very, very quickly was like how smart he is. Not just as football, but like in everything he picks things up like really, really fast. Like I remember we were playing a card game, for example, stupid example, but like we were playing a card game and we were like, I was trying to explain to him the game and then it got, it's pretty funny, but where were we at the time? Do you remember playing this game? Fuck, we were away somewhere. Anyway, and I'd been playing for like 3 days this game with Jason and Danny. And then he comes in 5 minutes, so we're like explaining him the rules. And it gets to the point where he's like, bro, I get it. And then like we're playing and you got to play together with the person across you.
Right, yep.
And he, like, you need to sort of work out what your guy has without them telling you. And I'm like putting a card down. He's like, Rash, why are you doing? Like, he's starting to have a go at me, and he's like been playing for 10 minutes.
I tell
like,
you, you're making the wrong moves.
Yeah, and that's what he's like on the football field. But I mean, to be honest, I didn't know about him before when he come in, but I think he came with a presence of really caring, really caring about. He didn't just come here for a holiday. Like, it was pretty evident from the start that, like, when you play like a game, maybe not in training, like sometimes you maybe walk or something, but like as soon as it was a game, it was like, oh, he's not here to.
Yeah, but see, this is the thing with him. Even if he did come here for a holiday, the way he is, he will still try and win.
Yeah.
He fucking charity game. He didn't want to come off. Yeah. He's been retired for fucking 5 years.
Yeah.
It's just the way. I think that's his DNA.
Yeah.
But I also thought, like, when he came, and it would have been interesting, is like the initial training sessions, like his technique, his like the footwork, the thinking, those sort of things, like that. Yeah. That's always fascinating for me when a player from overseas used to come to Adelaide. I was like, straight in training, like you could just tell.
Yeah, it's
like,
a different level.
Or you could be like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, to be honest, in like possession drills in like training games, it wasn't so evident. But then as soon as we played a game, it was like, oh, like it's another level. You know, yeah. Like the first few games, I remember you got heaps of assists in the friendlies and stuff. Every time you got the ball, he would switch it to cross to the other side, and like, yeah, it was like in the games, it was like straight away, like, oh yeah, different. You know. What was
it like rooming with Rashid?
Well, to be honest,
did you room with Danny or did you room with?
Nah, I was, because at the beginning I was with Mathieu Delpierre. Because but Matthew got injured like after just a couple of games straight away, and I think we can't remember. I think it was in Sydney. We went to Sydney, and I was supposed to be with Andrew in the booth. And Rush came and was like, he asked Andrew like to swap because he wanted to be with me. And Andrew was like,
I feel like that went the other way, but anyway.
No.
Andrew,
and so
no, he saying,
yeah, and so Andrew, Rush came with me, whatever. I think it was like with Bess, like you didn't want to end up with Bess or something. Anyway, so he ended up with me, and that's how it started. But the thing is, like, to be honest, because and then obviously, I don't know, the relationship we've been having since. He's the closest person for me here in Australia.
Well, Rashid taught you English as well.
Yeah, he did. Him, Danny, and Jason.
Well,
Danny was a bit tougher, but like all the swearing, everything comes from Danny.
This was the other thing.
All the
like
swearing
the speed that he learnt English is insane.
Really?
Like, I've never seen anything like it. He didn't speak anything when he first came.
Not like what?
Like, pretty much nothing. Like, pretty much
crazy.
nothing. Because most people that when they come, like, pretty much most people have some
What
English.
did you pick up?
This was like,
talking or understanding?
No, to be honest, the thing is, like, when I first came was like, all right, I need to learn. But Mathieu Delpierre was here, and I was like, we knew each other, but I was like, I can't spend so much time with him because if I spend time with him, we're going to speak French. And I need to avoid that. So I just avoided all the French people all around me. I was picking up my daughter. She was at Caulfield, like there's a French and English school. And I wasn't talking to anyone. I was like, man, I was like so rude. I was like, I don't want to be involved. I don't want to have friends. I don't want to speak French with anyone else. I just want to talk English with people. And even if I didn't understand, I wasn't afraid to make mistakes, but I told them, correct me. The problem is like you have someone like Danny. Like he's trying to explain to you, he's trying to teach you English where he can't even speak English. But Rash and Jesse, even Danny, to be honest, like the three of them, and even Jesse, like they spend a lot of time with me. And I was going out with them and dinner and like lunch, trying to understand. But Rash then in the room was like, he explained to me, I was making a mistake, he took his time, and which is actually really hard. But I was going, like, before training, I was going to a cafe, reading, like, newspaper, like, writing every word, everything, trying to understand. So I made a lot of effort, but because for me, it was just about respect. You go somewhere, you need to respect the people. So, and then Matthew as well, like, so he got back and I was like, look, I'll stay with Rash in a room, probably better for us, like, at least we can learn. And Matthew was kind of the same, like, you know, he's actually in the training room, just together we spoke English, but, or French, sorry, but as soon as, like, people around us, like, we were talking, like, English.
Yeah,
even between us.
It's such an important
Matthew was amazing also with that, like, you know, trying to make an effort, everything, but I spent so much time with him. Look, he's definitely the closest person. Like, he's the person I trust the most here. Like, he's like a little brother to me. When you don't, like, I've got my wife and my daughter here, but I'm not someone who's trying to make friends, like, with people, but if I go along, everything, yeah, like, and Rush straight away, like, it clicked. Yeah. When I see him, Danny and Jace, I said it every time.
They're funny, like my brothers. It's funny how you click, though, for the amount that you guys disagree on.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think that's the most fascinating thing, and like people probably have picked it up in this podcast, but like these guys genuinely go to coffee, and like this is literally like all we're missing is a latte here, like because this is how it is. But there's usually like a half an hour of just disagreements, and then it's like, all right, man, I'll see you later. But you'll just sit there like, what the fuck just
imagine
happened?
in the room sometimes, like, you know, like in the rooms, like when you start doing things, some of the stuff, like, you know, meditation, everything, and you get in the room and like the guy is just lying on the, like, he's against the wall. Oh, man, and sometimes.
And I'm trying to. You know, get
and
all
he's trying
and
before
stuff,
the game,
and I can feel him like taking photos and shit. It's and like, you know, I can't.
And like, I'm the kind of guy, like, seriously, like, you know, before, especially when I first came here, like, I was like, to be honest, my mentality was like, I'm very serious when it comes to football, everything. I do everything serious, but I don't need to focus before the game. That was my thing. I was like, in the room the day before the game, everything's in. Just like in the changing rooms, it's just a little bit different. But I can chill. Even changing rooms, you can have like soccer, tennis, everything, and like I need that.
So you can just flick the switch when you're like.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, but I had experience. So he was younger, so him doing all that stuff, he was probably right. But then I was like, man, bro, stop this shit, bro.
And this guy, man, I'm trying to have like my afternoon nap. You know, you have breakfast.
I was like, why are you sleeping?
You try, you have afternoon nap, so you're like rejuvenated, like ready to go. Bro? This guy. It was just an ongoing battle, man. It went from like, no, I don't want to sleep at all. Like, we can't do that. And then he thought he was meeting me by halfway by going, all right, I'll have a rest, but we're leaving the blinds open with the light on. And
because
he quoted
it's
some
the worst
bullshit study, like it's
better
for you to sleep with the light on. Or something.
Really? Yeah, because if you sleep during the day and you want to have a nap.
I hate sleeping in the day.
But if you want to have a nap and a lot of, obviously before a game. But if you turn the lights off or whatever, the blinds, everything, and it's dark, bro, you wake up like in a different world. Like you wake up tired. You don't need to sleep 2 hours before a game, so you're supposed to sleep like 45 minutes, 40 minutes, 35 minutes. I hated the hotel.
Can I just say, did any of you throughout your whole entire career, like however many games you probably played, I don't know, 1,000 games in your life, maybe more, like including juniors and everything, right? Did you ever work out the recipe of like how to feel good before a game?
Nah.
It's impossible. It's like you think, I've got it, and then you do the same thing the next week, and you feel terrible.
You have the same routine.
I used to just overthink it. I think if I was playing now, I would like barely like all of the things I would care about. Is just
I wasn't.
To
be honest, I wasn't.
Yeah.
Nah, the night before it's important, but
no,
for me, what I need is like I need to chill. When we were talking and then like playing cards before everything, I like it. Mm-hmm. As soon as I can finish lunch and you've got all the players going in the bedroom and just to sleep, and I was like, oh man, I hated it. But I was sleeping in Europe. But then when you start having more experience and obviously how to do things, I was like, man, I want to have a coffee. I want to go downstairs. I want to talk. Actually, for me, it was like, I want to do that. So he was very different. But
to be honest, towards the end, I realized, actually, no, I feel better when I just live my life leading and don't think about the game until like I'm there.
I think to be honest, for me, it was like I was trying to explain to him, just play, like no pressure. Yeah. Like him doing all that stuff, I was like, you're just putting too much pressure. When you get on the pitch, just play. And it's gonna be. It might be good, it might be not good or whatever. You don't know. But just play your football, enjoy it. That was the main thing. For me, I was trying to explain to him, don't overthink, don't start, man. If you feel fine, why would you sleep? If you're not tired or something, don't sleep. But sometimes, you need to have like a good rest, like the day before. For me, sleep, have a good night, then that was my personality. So the day before the game, to be honest, like before the grand final, people saw me playing poker the morning. Like, and I used to play. I used to live in front of the Crown.
Yeah.
When I first came, I loved it. I loved poker, and to be honest, and so my thing was like after training everything, my daughter was at school and my wife working everything. So I was like, what do you want me to do? Like, I live in a great country. I'm happy. I'm doing well or something. You know what? I want to do what things I enjoy.
Yeah.
Either I was with them or I said, I'm going to go play poker. I loved it. That things, to be honest, I needed it. And sometime and like, I was like, the day we played the grand final against Sydney, the morning I was playing poker and people saw me and said, oh, fuck, you don't have the grand final. I can't remember which one from the staff came see me and said, did you play poker this morning? I said, yeah, why? He said, man, you're crazy. I said, we're going to win anyways. You know, it's not going to change anything.
So you played poker the day of the grand final?
Yeah, the morning. I lived in front, bro. And so, but for me, it was like the day before something. And
I lived in front.
Nah, but that's how I felt. I was like, I need that. It's like, you know, when you're young, everything was like, yeah, it's fine. You know, you try to follow all the rules.
But bro, this is
for me, I was like, after games, I want to be with my friend and have a drink or something. So he after the game, I was like, well, if I want to go out after the game, because I know I'm not gonna sleep, I want to do it. If I'm 31 or 32 years old, you're not gonna tell me what not. You gotta do that. To be honest, so sometimes I was like, hey, I want to do it. But now you also understand, like as a coach, for example, there's rules you have to follow. If the coach says, nah, no one goes out, no one does, then you got to respect that. If the coach allows you to do it, but I was with him, he was younger, or Jace, everything. So they went in the same position as me. So if, for example, they don't feel they need to go there, then stay. So, but that, especially when I first came here, in France, there's so many rules, like about soccer. And here I was like, oh, at least I can enjoy it. You know, I can do my job on the pitch, and I know I'm serious. Like, you know, I don't take a piece when I play. I'm not here on holiday, but I want to enjoy my life. That was my thing, to be honest, my mentality.
But isn't it? It's so weird. Like, just to go. Sorry, just keep going back to it. But like, it's the same thing again. Like, I'm thinking in my head. Oh, someone's told me that all these studies say that meditation's good for you. So like, I need to do that. But I'm not like sitting there and being given the insight from someone like, oh no, think about what actually makes you
I think everyone is different, bro.
You know,
like,
that's what I'm
I
saying.
think that's why. And for me, that's we're trying
like,
to.
Oh,
and obviously talking now
it.
because like I'm not playing anymore and things I've done or didn't do. Like, you know, it's like you've got 23 players or whatever. All of them are different. Every one of them, you're gonna make one decision. You might make 2 or 3 people very comfortable, the rest of them not.
Yeah,
or you
exactly.
might make, but you have to do that as a coach, whatever, because you can't. But everyone is so different. If you, as I said last time, you know, we spoke. If one of my player, man, he's better he wants to party the day before the game, and he's so good. Man, I'll take him out.
Yeah.
If I was the coach, I'll tell him go out, go out seriously. There's one story, man, in Bordeaux. There's one centre back, Soudé Diarra. He was like played for the Senegal, everything. He's someone who used to have the reputation of partying a lot.
Sorry guys, I'm just gonna have a cookie.
He signed
That you brought
he
in.
signed for Bordeaux, and he was like because Bordeaux was such a big club, so he stopped partying everything when he got there. And he wasn't doing well. And the coach went to see him, like the assistant coach, went to see him. He said, man, Thursday night are like a student party, everything. You're going out. He told him, he actually forced him to go out. He went out everything same weekend he played man of the match. He actually, the assistant coach went to see him. He said, man, you're going out, you're gonna party. Don't come back home before like 3 or 4 a.m. Because he knew he had the thing, he needs to do that. So I think like mentally is so important. Like, you know, as a coach, it's hard, bro, to go and tell one of your players like, yeah, you can go out.
No, I know.
But I think if,
the principle
that's why I
behind
love
it's
it. That's
different,
why I love NBA, everything, because everyone there's so much freedom, and I think, to be honest, like, yeah, if I was coaching everything, I would try. Like, if I coach in dating,
isn't it?
but
it's a balance.
It's a balance, but I think like you need to understand the players. All of them are different. If some players sometimes are gonna say, "Oh man, I want to do that," you don't know anything. At 20 years old, you don't know anything anyway. At one point, like, you don't have enough experience. But when you get like to 29, 30 years old, everything, you know your body. So if you feel like, for example, I don't want to stay at the hotel, Like for example, like you know, during the nap, I just want to go and walk a little bit. It's not good. It's not supposed to be good.
No, but it's not supposed. In Central Coast, one time, Danny Georgievski. We're like, we go on I can't remember. We went to the shops. I think me, you, and Anthony Crea. We were walking the strength and conditioning coach at the time. We were walking. We get back to the hotel. We look up and we see Danny. It's like afternoon of the game, sitting sunbaking out on his balcony like that. And Anthony Cree's like, look at these fucking guys.
But that's a gun.
But it's a perfect example.
No, but that's
actually great. I love it. And then he'll play as the best player. He doesn't give a fuck.
But I think like that was probably stupid or something. But I think like there's rules like, you know, if the guy tells you like, yeah man, I'm gonna go and stay in the sun, like, you know, it's gonna make you tired. You know, the sun makes you tired.
I feel like you learned that when you're like 7 years old. He's a professional player.
You know it's gonna make you tired. But if you go then sunbake or whatever, that's
and just how reclined his seat.
But you know, I think
I love it. Oh man,
man, Danny made me laugh, man. Oh man, we actually one day we need to invite him.
Yeah, I think maybe because we got to wrap this up because I actually got to go to a function. But I reckon we keep a running theme here, talking football on this podcast. We're gonna get Danny on. We have but next time when
Dan, some other stuff too, man. There's more to us than freaking football, surely.
Yeah, but we can't help ourselves if you can't tell. I had a whole thing too of so many questions. I got one in.
Man, I didn't even say what I was doing.
All right, now we'll come back on. We'll come back on maybe next month, and we'll do.
Hey, you want to go to the NBA? By the way, there's a final soon.
To the actual final
next week. No, not next week. Sorry, next.
Are you going?
I'm trying, maybe depending on Golden State. If
I think they could win the West, man.
Yeah, if they're playing the final, yeah. Rush is supposed to come with me in LA next year.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah, bro.
I've told him I'll come at some point. I've said no.
He's so busy.
Yeah, he's a busy man. Well, yeah, let's do it again. But thank you, boys, for coming back on and. Yeah, everyone tuning in, what a chat. The football dissecting team here. Danny Georgievski come up. We're going to need a 2-hour block if he comes on as well.
Two?
With
two. Danny? But
maybe even more, I don't know. But
probably get Danny on his own first. Because, bro.
But thank you, boys. We'll get you back on. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, man.